Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Robert Harron and I am bringing you the post-match reaction for Celtic 1, Rangers 0 in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park today, Saturday, May the 25th. My thoughts on the game were that the lineup looked decent enough. We had Butland in goal, a back four of Tavernier, Balogun, Ben Davies and Ridvan. Although there had been some comments in the press over the last couple of days that he wouldn't be fit to play, he made it through the 90 minutes. We then had a midfield of Raskin, Diamande and Sterling, with Cantwell playing the 10, Silva out wide left and Dessers starting up top. The first half went through quite quickly. Both teams had some decent chances, nothing really clear cut, and to be fair, Celtic didn't really offer very much in my opinion in that first half. Rangers did very well to marshal them and not really give anything away defensively. Half time comes, we're probably in a decent position at that point. We then at half time make a sub, so Abdallah Sima comes on at half time for Cyril Dessers, who I think had picked up an injury at the tail end of the first half. We started brightly in the second half. Again, we're pushing for obviously the opening goal. We did have some chances. We limited Celtic again to very few chances in the second half. We get to around the 60-minute mark and we think the Rangers get the first goal of the game with Abdallah Sima scoring from a corner kick. Unfortunately, it was ruled out for VAR for pushing and holding with inside the box. I've not seen it back, but from what I've seen and what I've been told, there was some pushing and holding by the Celtic players as well as Raskin, who I think the foul was given against Hart on. So we need to see that back to clarify. But the goal's not given. We don't lose our head, we continue in the same manner. We were bright, we seemed to improve definitely in the second half compared to the first, and thought that we would push ahead for the winner. Again, it was a very tight game, second half. Celtic didn't really have anything. They took Kyogo off and put Adamida up front. We also made some substitutions again just after the kind of 70-minute mark, I think, where Cantwell comes off for Scott Wright. Sterling, who I think pulled his hamstring, went off for Ross McCausland, and we had Silva come on for Fabio Silva. Very late on in the game, Raskin was subbed for John Lundstrom, but that really was an ineffective sub in my opinion. We again looked bright. The front three of Sima, Wright, front four of Wright, Sima, McCausland and Matondo seemed to have the legs, or we thought they would have the legs to cause Celtic, the Celtic backline trouble. Unfortunately that wasn't the case. Again, I think if buts and maybes, if we had got to extra time, I would have hoped we would have pushed on to win the game, but unfortunately that didn't occur. We get to the last 10 minutes of the game. Again, both sides trying to push for a winner, but again, very tight, very little for really either keeper to do at either end. Defensively, I felt Rangers were quite strong today, far better than they have been in previous showings against Celtic. However, the sickener comes in the 88th, 89th minute, where the ball's played through. There's a shot from around 25 yards, I'm not sure who it was that hit it. Apparently the ball swerved, it looked as if Butland had to kind of change direction mid-save to stop the ball, and unfortunately the boy Ida comes in and scores what proved to be the match winner in the 89th minute. There were a couple of hard decisions in the second half, as I said, with the Rangers goal, and also another couple of occasions which resulted in 8 minutes of added time being added on to the last part of the game. Unfortunately, Rangers couldn't find a way through to get the equaliser, to take it to extra time, and unfortunately, for Rangers anyway, we lost the game with that one decisive goal. Again, my thoughts overall were we played well. We probably played as well as we have done against Celtic in the 4 games we've had against them this season. Unfortunately, we've come up short yet again. Successful teams find a way to win. Rangers at this moment in time are not a successful team, barring the League Cup success, and again that was probably just due to the early season form of Celtic getting beat in the early round of the League Cup. We now switch our attention to the summer, being the last game of this current campaign. Hopefully there are a number of signings made. Personally, I wouldn't have any sentiment in seeing a lot of these current players go, regardless of whether they're fan favourites or not. I would also potentially question the sale of Jack Butland. I'm not sure he covered himself in glory with today's goal, despite not having a lot to do. But again, as a Rangers keeper or a Celtic keeper, you may not be in the game for 89 minutes out of the 90, but when that minute comes, when you need to make a decisive save, and I know he's played well this season, but I don't think he can be beyond criticism for the goal that was given away today. Again, hopefully Clement and Coppin in the summer do some good business and we come back refreshed and ready to go into season 2024-2025. With that being said, thank you very much for watching and listening today. You can find the Gallant Few and the Rangers Journal on Apple, YouTube and Spotify. You can also find us on X or on Twitter at the Gallant Few 1 and at the Rangers Journal. Again, thank you very much for watching today. My name's been Robert Harron, and every night is Rangers Journal night.